For thousands of years, they ruled the stars. They were called the Carthan, a race without mercy, without fear, without weakness. No one saw their faces. No one knew where they came from. But every species knew one thing: if the sky turned red, it was already too late. The Carthan did not invade like armies. They did not speak. They did not ask for surrender. They came silently. Ships vanished. Planets turned to dust. Populations screamed once, and then nothing. The galaxy feared many things, but it feared the Carthan the most. A forgotten signal far from the center of the galaxy, in a quiet mining zone near the black rings of Veos 9, a single human ship floated in silence. The Hawk 7, a deep space mining vessel, moved slowly through the asteroid field, collecting metal rocks for Earth. Inside the ship, 6 humans worked calmly. They weren't soldiers. They weren't important, just miners. Old, dusty uniforms. Cracked helmets. They joked, played music, and drank recycled coffee. One of them, an older man named Raylan, stared at the stars with quiet eyes. Another, a young woman named June, laughed while fixing a broken drill. The comms crackled for a second. Static, nothing more. But Raylan's eyes narrowed. A shadow approaches 3 light minutes away. Something moved between the asteroids. No engines, no signal, no reflection. Just a shape, dark, long, silent. June looked up. You hear that? Raylan nodded. Too quiet. Asteroids aren't moving. He pressed the sensor pad. Nothing showed. The radar was clean. But his hand didn't leave the emergency switch. We got visitors, he whispered. The red arrival then. The stars disappeared. A giant black triangle slid in front of them, blocking all light. The ship didn't make a sound. No lights, no messages, no warning. Raylan stood. That's not a pirate ship. The crew turned pale. One whispered, "Is that?" Raylan nodded. Carthan. A shiver went through the room. They all had heard the stories. No one ever survived, not even warships. And they were just miners. But Raylan didn't move. He just watched the ship with cold, steady eyes. They made a mistake, he said softly. The Carthan landed with a silent hum. The Carthan ship released. A pod. It landed on the hull of the Hawk 7, cut through metal like paper, and opened slowly. 4 figures stepped inside the mining ship. Tall, black armor. No faces, no sounds. June held her breath. Another crew member dropped to his knees, praying. But Raylan? He walked forward slowly, helmet off, face calm. The Carthan did not speak. They pointed a dark weapon at Raylan's chest. He smiled. You picked the wrong rock, he whispered. What they didn't know before the collapse war, Raylan had worn a different uniform. So had June. They weren't just miners. They were part of Unit 12X, Earth's forgotten predator hunters. Special forces created for one reason: to study and eliminate species like the Carthan. They weren't trained to survive. They were trained to make others fear them. The first strike, one of the Carthan lunged forward. Fast, silent. Raylan didn't blink. In one swift motion, he twisted his body, grabbed the creature's arm, and broke it in 3 places. The alien made no sound, but its knees buckled. Raylan grabbed its weapon and used it against the second attacker. June, now standing, threw a blinding flash powder from her belt. The ship filled with white smoke and light. The Carthan couldn't see. The humans didn't need to. A shift in power. 3 minutes later, the smoke cleared. 2 Carthan were down. 1 was missing a leg. The 4th stood frozen in place. The humans hadn't screamed. They hadn't begged. They had moved with silence and precision. The last Carthan looked around, confused. This was not the prey it expected. It took 1 step back. Raylan raised his hand. Tell your queen, we're not scared of ghosts. June stepped forward. We hunt them. The escape. The surviving Carthan ran. Fast. It leapt back to its pod and Escape to the main ship. The giant black triangle lifted quietly and began to disappear into the dark. No missiles. No counterattack, only silence. But inside that retreat was something new. Fear. Across the stars in the galactic capital of Zelfar, news spread like a firestorm. Carthan injured? By humans? Impossible. The alien councils laughed. At first, they were lucky, said a Zeltari ambassador. But one old, blind alien shook his head slowly. No, he said. The Carthan fear nothing, but now they retreat. That means only one thing. The others leaned in. They found something they cannot understand. A human whisper. Raylan sat quietly inside the Hawk 7. He cleaned his hands and looked at the stars. Again. June leaned on the wall beside him. You think they'll come back? Raylan nodded slowly. Not yet, they're thinking. They'll send more. Raylan gave a slight smile. Good, let them. She watched him for a while. Were we really trained for this? He looked up. We were trained for worse. And then he said something so soft, she almost didn't hear it. They were feared by all, but not anymore. On the Carthan ship, the injured warrior was taken to a dark room. A tall figure waited there, claws, a crown made of black bone. The Carthan queen. She asked no questions. She just looked. The warrior trembled. He had seen monsters. He had killed worlds. But now, he couldn't stop shaking. Speak, said the queen. The warrior looked down. They didn't run, he whispered. They smiled. The queen narrowed her eyes. And? The warrior's voice cracked. They're not prey. They're the end of us. Last time, the galaxy's most feared killers, the Carthan, attacked a simple human mining ship. But they didn't find prey. They found Raylan and June, former predator hunters from Earth's secret unit 12X, for the first time in history. A Carthan ship retreated. Now, the galaxy is confused. And the Carthan are angry. Opening scene. The throne of bones deep inside a hollow moon. Under red fog and black stone, the Carthan queen sat on her throne. Her armor shimmered like oil. Around her, walls were covered with the bones of other species. Kings, warriors, whole bloodlines. But now her hands were tight fists. A warrior kneeled before her. His arm broken. His breath shaky. He had survived the human encounter. You ran, the queen said, her voice like poison. They smiled at death, he replied, shaking. We were not prepared. She stepped forward. You made a mistake. He nodded. No, she whispered. We did. Flashback. Before the ambush, Raylan and June weren't just miners. Years ago, they were handpicked for Project Apex, a human military experiment made to study and defeat predator species. Trained in fear management. Taught how to beat enemies stronger, faster, and smarter. Their job was not survival. It was domination. But after the Collapse War, the project was shut down. Raylan and June disappeared into deep space until the Carthan found them on. A dying moon days after the attack, an alien listening post on a dead moon picks up something strange. The Carthan are moving, but not toward war. They're watching Earth. A Zarnoth spy commander sends an urgent message. Carthan ships detected near human borders. Not attacking, observing. This is new. The alien council argues that some want peace, some want war. But one alien speaks what no one else wants to hear. They're planning something worse than war. Raylan's past revealed back on the Hawk 7. June finds an old case hidden behind the wall. Inside Raylan's true identity file, she reads, Classified, Subject 12X01, Cody name, The Still Wolf. She stares at him. You were the first? Raylan doesn't answer. She asks again. Why didn't you tell me? Raylan finally speaks. Because if I told you, you'd remember what we were made to do. June's hands shake. They weren't trained to fight. They were trained to end threats quietly. The Carthen adapt. The Carthen are not stupid. They study their mistakes. They learn fast. Inside a red void ship, 10 Carthen warriors watch recordings of the human ambush. Fast reactions. Unreadable body language. Emotional control, one says. Unnatural. Another growls. They were made for us. The queen enters the room. No, they were made for worse. Her eyes burn with rage. Send the huntmasters. No weapons, no fire. Only death, hand to hand. Earth responds on Earth. A hidden command room lights up. A screen flashes. Predator class, Carthen. Status, hostile. Protocol 80 authorized. The message is short. Contact subject 12X. Do not interfere. Let them finish what we started. The second encounter a small cargo ship, Stellar J. Answers a distress call from a nearby rock. Belt. When they arrive, it's too late. They find torn metal. No life signs. Strange burn patterns. But there's something else. One Carthen body. Dead. With a human combat knife in its chest. And on the wall, written in red oil, send more. Pilot backs away, terrified. The humans weren't defending themselves anymore. They were hunting back. The hunt begins. Raylan and June leave the Hawk 7. They travel by night, off-grid, through dead sectors. They're not just hiding, they're following Carthen signals. They're tracking the predators. June asks, how? Do we beat an entire species? Raylan replies, you don't. You make them destroy themselves. Inside the Carthen mind, the Carthen feels something strange and new. Something that burns deeper than anger. Doubt. One of the huntmasters speaks privately with the queen. They don't act like prey. They don't think like prey. Because they are not, she answers. Then what are they? She looks at the stars, a mirror. The mistake that changed everything. One Carthen commander decides to prove his strength. He sends a message into human space. I challenge the one called Raylan, one-on-one, no weapons. Raylan receives the challenge. He replies with 2 words, I'm waiting. They meet on a dead planet. Atmosphere thin, gravity low. The Carthen is twice Raylan's size. Armor built into his skin. He charges like a monster. Raylan doesn't move. Until the last second. Then with one turn of his foot and shift of his hand, the Carthen falls, broken neck, crushed chest. No fight. Raylan kneels and whispers, that was your second mistake. The galaxy watches. A secret feed leaks the footage. Billions watch. A single human. No armor. One strike. One death. Galactic media explodes. Are humans the new apex species? Carthen defeated again. One man, one legend. Alien. Soldiers grow nervous. Civilian ships avoid Carthen borders. Some even start siding with Earth. The Queen's rage, the Carthen. Queen throws her war blade across the room. She calls her final council. No more honor. No more rules, she says. Destroy them, all of them. But one elder speaks softly. We were feared, now we chase revenge. They shamed us, the Queen growls. No, the elder says. They showed us. We are not at the top anymore. Final scene. A message left behind on a moon colony destroyed by the Carthen years ago. A human distress signal is suddenly activated. A ship arrives. Inside, they find one old terminal blinking. A message appears. To all predator species, we are not scared of your legends. We grew up in darkness too. We built our fire from fear. And now you are prey. Previously, the Carthen were feared by all species. But now, for the first time, they are afraid. One human Raylan faced them alone, and the galaxy is watching. Some species are beginning to doubt the Carthen's power. Others whisper a dangerous new word. Humans. Opening scene. Prison ship Vornkar deep in dark space. Inside a floating fortress called Vornkar. The Carthen hold a single human. He is captured during a silent raid on an empty freighter. His name is Eladane. He has no weapons, no armor. He does not speak. The guards call him useless. The scientists call him fragile. But the queen calls him something else. A seed. She knows the danger is not in his muscles. It's in his mind. Countdown begins. The queen gives the order. Break him. Learn what he knows. Then kill him. Over the next 48 hours, they try everything. Pain machines, fear tests, memory dives, neural spikes. But Eli never screams. He never begs. He never talks. He just watches. And sometimes he smiles. A silent game in a dark glass room. A Carthan interrogator named Shalvar enters. He has broken 312 minds. Never failed. He sits across from Eli. Human, he says. You are alone, forgotten, weak. Eli says nothing. Shal leans forward. Speak, or die in pieces. Eli blinks slowly. Then in a calm voice he says, I'm already inside. Shal frowns. Inside what? Eli smiles. Your fear. Mind echo. The Carthan try a risky method, mind echo transfer. It connects two brains, one Carthan, one human. They link Shelvar to Eli. What they see horrifies them. Flashback. Earth's secret inside Eli's memory. The Carthan see burning skies. They see humans training blindfolded on moving steel floors. They see children learning how to kill with spoons. They see RAYLAN. And worst of all, they see humans laughing during war. Not because they love pain, but because they stopped fearing it. Shal screams and tears off the headset. His skin turns pale. He falls to the floor, whispering, They are worse than us. The queen enters. The queen of the Carthan walks into the glass chamber herself. She stands over Eli. You have one chance, she says. Tell me what you are. Eli finally speaks. His voice is cold and slow. You fed on fear. We grew in it. You ruled the weak. We buried our gods. You think you are the end? We are what comes after. The queen grips his throat. You are nothing. Eli grins. Then why are your warriors afraid of me? Flashpoint. Internal collapse 3. Carthan guards begin arguing. They're not like others. We need more firepower. They keep winning with less. Some Carthan begin disobeying orders. Others question the queen. Fear spreads inside the ship like fire. The queen orders Eli's execution. But before it happens, he asks for one thing. Let me speak to your future. The final whisper. He is dragged to a black platform. Carthan soldiers, leaders, and scientists gather. They expect screams. They expect weakness. But Eli stands tall, chained, bleeding, and smiling. His final words are short. He looks directly at the camera. We are not your prey. We are your extinction. And we have already started. He bites something hidden in his mouth. A human tooth. Filled with microfire. He collapses. Lifeless, shockwave, the prison ship doesn't explode. But its data core melts from the inside. Its lights flicker. Systems fail. Every message, every scan, every plan dash erased. And in their place, one image appears again and again. A wolf. Eyes glowing red. Underneath it says, Unit 12X was just the beginning. The ripple effect all across the galaxy. News of Eladane's final words spreads. Videos of the human soldier shaking. The Carthan with only words go viral. Alien leaders panic. Minor species begin turning away from the Carthan. A phrase appears on thousands of systems. Humans are not fighting for survival. They are fighting to clean the stars. Council. Emergency. The Galactic Council holds an emergency meeting. Some want to label humans as a class red threat. Others argue they're only defending themselves. But one alien, a wise, ancient being, says something chilling. No one ever made the Carthan afraid. But the humans did it without even trying. The Queen's fury, the Carthan Queen. orders 10 systems to be destroyed as revenge. But her commanders hesitate. One says, "We burn their planets." "But they burn our fear." Another whispers, "We may be hunters." But now we're hunted. The queen turns away, and for the first time in her long, violent life, she is silent. End scene. On a forgotten world, Raylan and June arrive at an old Earth outpost on the edge of the stars. Inside, they find something strange, a message from Eli recorded before his capture. He speaks slowly. "If you're hearing this, I'm probably dead. But that's okay. Because I did my job. I let them see what they fear the most. The truth, that we are not like the others, that when we hunt, we finish it." Raylan lowers his head. June wipes a tear. The stars outside are quiet, but not for long. Previously, the Carthan, the galaxy's deadliest hunters, face something new: fear. A captured human prisoner whispered that humans are the true predators now. The queen's anger grows, but so does her doubt. Opening scene. Carthan. War Council. The queen sat in her war chamber, cold light shining on her black armor. Her commanders gathered around. "The humans are not just defending. They are hunting us," she said. One general growled, "Then we strike first. We destroy their home worlds." The queen shook her head. "No, we do not fight on their terms." Her eyes burned. "We hunt back. But different. Humans prepare in silence, far from the fighting, on Earth and hidden colonies. Humans trained harder. No loud weapons. No huge fleets. Just small teams. Teams moving like shadows. The first strike. Silent and deadly. A Carthan supply ship floated near a mining colony on the edge of known space. No alarms. No battle signals. Just silence. Suddenly, human fighters appeared fast. Unseen. They struck the ship with non-lethal weapons. No explosions. Just capture. The prisoners speak. Captured Carthan soldiers found themselves in strange human camps. No torture. No anger. Just cold, calm observation. Humans watched them. Studied them. Learned their fears and weaknesses. Tracking the hunters, Raylan and June led the teams. They moved like ghosts through Carthan space. No big battles. No heavy losses. Just one small strike after another. Alien technology used against them. Humans captured Carthan tech. They modified ships, weapons, and armor. Each human ship was a new weapon. Faster, smarter, harder to detect. The Carthan were confused. The hunter becomes the hunted. Carthan patrols stopped returning. Entire squads vanished without a trace. Panic spread. The queen ordered more attacks. The spy game. Humans sent spies inside Carthan fleets. They did not use force. They used information. Secrets leaked. Plans failed. The power of silence. Carthan warlords grew desperate. They launched full fleets. They expected war. They got silenced. No ship fired a weapon. Instead, they found their bases empty. A shocking discovery. One human scout ship discovered a hidden Carthan world. No warriors. No weapons. Only ruins. Destroyed from within. The voice of warning. A surviving Carthan captain sent a message to the queen. They are not fighting a war. They are ending us. The turning point. The queen gathered her best warriors. "Find their leaders," she said. "End this before it ends us." The galaxy watches in awe. Other alien species began to side with humans. They sent ships. They shared secrets. The galaxy was shifting. Ending scene. Raylan's words. Raylan stood on a cliff, watching stars burn. He said softly, "We do not hunt like others. We wait. We watch. Then we strike. And when we do, we finish." Previously, humans began hunting the once feared Carthan quietly, efficiently, without mercy. Raylan and June led silent strikes deep into enemy space. The galaxy watched in shock as Carthan forces vanished one by one. But now, something old from Earth's past is waking up. And it could change everything. Opening scene. The Forbidden Vault on the edge of Earth's moon. Deep beneath a cold bunker hidden by time, a silent alarm began to blink. It hadn't activated in over 60 years. 3 words appeared on the console. Project Apex unlocked. Project Apex. Earth's forgotten weapon back during Earth's darkest war. The world feared extinction from alien forces. So global leaders created something in secret. Not a weapon of mass destruction, but a weapon of evolution. Project Apex. Train a generation of humans not to survive predators, but to replace them. The file no one wanted opened. A secret. Council on Earth opened the Apex files. Old names returned. Raylan, the Still Wolf. June, the Echo Blade. Eli Dane, the Quiet Spark, and one final name never used. Marked, unawakened. A message from the past inside the Apex vault. They found a recording. A gray-haired general long dead spoke to the camera. If this file plays, then the galaxy has seen us, not as prey, but as predators. He paused. Project Apex was never shut down. It went underground, watching, waiting, learning how to end threats quietly. Meanwhile, Raylan's team strikes again. Raylan and June boarded a massive Carthan warship near the Black Nebula, but the ship was empty. Lights off. Engines cold. Inside, they found strange symbols carved into the walls. Not Carthan language, human. Handwriting. June read it aloud. You feared us when we were quiet. What happens when we speak? Earth sends a signal from deep within Earth's command. A message was sent to Raylan. Apex protocol is live. Raylan's eyes narrowed. He looked at June. They're finally letting us do what we were built for. Flashback. Raylan's origin as a boy. Raylan grew up in a cold training dome beneath Antarctica. No sunlight, only silence. He was taught how to track without sound, kill without emotion, disappear without trace. His final test? He had to escape. A sealed base while being hunted by combat AI. He did it in 3 minutes. When they asked how, he said, I didn't run. I made it hunt something else. The Carthan get desperate. The Queen called her top minds. Why are we losing? She demanded. The answer was simple. They don't think like prey. They understand us. And they don't need power to destroy. US, they just need time. The machines that trained humans back in Apex's hidden bases. Humans trained against simulations of every known alien predator. Carthan, Zornik, Yulo. But none could defeat the Apex cadets, because Apex didn't train humans to win battles. They trained them to win wars of minds. The truth reaches the galaxy. An alien spy leaks Apex information to the galactic net. Billions watch in horror as they see footage of Earth's quietest project. Children walking through gas without fear. Teens dismantling Carthan weapons with bare hands. Soldiers meditating in zero gravity while enemy ships explode outside. One alien whispers, they weren't made for peace. They were made for the end. Galactic panic species across the stars hold emergency meetings. Some want to form an alliance with Earth. Some demand Earth's destruction. But no one makes a move, because every spy they send disappears. Every plan they make fails. Every fleet they send never returns. The Queen breaks her own rule for centuries. The Carthan followed one code, never show fear, but in her private chamber, the Queen watches Apex files on repeat. She pauses on a frame of Raylan. Silent, calm, looking directly into the camera. Her hand trembles. She orders one final act. Find their origin. Destroy the Apex base. Kill every last one of them. But it's already too late. The Apex strikes back as Carthan fleets move toward Earth. Apex teams move faster. They don't wait. They don't ask. They act. Inside Carthan command ships, lights flicker, doors fail. Walls collapse. And standing in the middle of every wreckage, a single human with no words. Just a gaze. Final scene. A message from Raylan back on Earth. A new signal is sent to every corner of the galaxy. Raylan speaks. You feared us because you didn't understand us. But you should have looked closer. We didn't rise by being the strongest. We rose by watching, waiting, then ending everything. He leans closer. Apex was not a weapon. It was a reminder that we are not prey. We are the final chapter in every predator's story. Recap from Part 5. Earth's secret weapon Project Apex was activated. These humans weren't soldiers. They were evolved hunters. Silent, cold, perfect. Carthan fleets fell without warning. Alien empires panicked. But one figure refused to give up. The Carthan Queen. And now, she's ready to do something no Carthan ruler has ever done. Scene 1. The Queen breaks. The Carthan Queen stood in the throne spire, once proud, now surrounded by silence. 3 of her generals were dead. 7 war fleets gone. She stared at the stars through her crystal window. We were the hunters, she whispered. Now we're the hunted. A single word escaped her lips like poison. Human. Her ancient oath no Carthan Queen had ever bowed. It was written in blood on their royal stone. We rule. We take. We never kneel. But now their entire race stood on the edge, and she knew this wasn't war anymore. This was survival. She turned to her last advisor. Send the signal. Not to Earth, to him, the one they call Raylan. Meanwhile, Raylan's base Raylan stood over a holographic map. Dozens of red zones blinked destroyed Carthan ships. Too easy. June walked in. You see this? She asked, pointing. They've stopped attacking. Raylan nodded slowly. They're not giving up. They're preparing something else. That's when the come screen blinked. A message. From the Carthan Queen herself. The message that changed everything. Her voice was cold, controlled, but weaker than before. Raylan of Earth, you have proven something terrifying. You don't fight like others. You don't hunt for power. You hunt for extinction. She took a deep breath. I will speak with you, alone, neutral space. One ship, no weapons. June leaned in. It's a trap, Raylan smiled. Let her try. The meeting place they met above the dead moon of Yarnes. The Carthan Queen stepped out of her ship first. No guards, no weapons, no tricks. Raylan walked toward her alone. No suit, no armor, just calm eyes and steady steps. She looked at him, truly looked, and saw nothing but danger in human skin. The offer, you can end us, she said. Raylan didn't speak. But if you do, others will rise, worse than us. Creatures without minds, without rules. And they will burn everything, even Earth. Still, Raylan was silent. But if we ally, if Carthan joins Earth, you won't just survive, you will rule. Raylan's response, he finally spoke. You don't understand us. The Queen narrowed her eyes. Then tell me, what do humans want? Raylan stepped closer. His voice stayed calm. We don't want to rule, we want peace. She almost laughed, but then he added, and when peace is impossible, we don't beg, we don't run. We erase. A dangerous deal. The Queen swallowed hard. So what will it take to stop the war? Raylan raised one finger. 3 things. The release of every human prisoner. Every Carthan weapon design handed to Earth. A public broadcast. The Queen will kneel before Apex, her claws curled. You ask for humiliation. Raylan answered without emotion. No, I ask for truth. The broadcast that broke the galaxy 1 hour later, across every screen in every system, it played. The Carthan Queen. Bowing. Kneeling. Before a human. The galaxy held its breath. Some cheered. Some cried. Some prepared for war. But Earth stayed silent. They didn't celebrate. They just watched. Behind the scenes, Apex expands with Carthan weapon tech in their hands. Earth scientists worked fast. They didn't just copy it. They made it better. Ships that could cloak in sunlight. Guns that fired without noise. Armor that learned how to fight back. June looked at one. New prototype and whispered, "Now they've truly made monsters out of us." A new threat rises from the edge of known space. Something stirs, not Carthan, not human, a black signal older. Then light reaches out, and one word translates, consume. Earth detects it. Raylan reads the scans. June frowns. "Do we know what it is?" Raylan turns to her. "No, but it's heading for both of us." Carthan plus human alliance? In a hidden Earth chamber, world leaders speak with the Queen. Her voice is tired. "You asked for peace. Now we all face something worse." Earth's prime strategist answers, "Then let the hunters unite." Final scene. A warning sent. The galaxy receives a final message from Apex. The war with Carthan is over. But the galaxy is not safe. Something older is coming. And only those who understand fear will survive. Raylan looks to the stars and whispers one word, soon. Previously ... The humans destroyed every secret weapon the Carthan had. Earth's darkest project, the Echo Mine, broke the enemy from within. Now only one Carthan nest remains, the last core, hidden inside a dead star. Opening scene. The last core inside the dead star. The Carthan Queen waited. Her breath was heavy, her body damaged. Her empire almost gone. The walls shook. Systems flickered. A voice came through the static. "You thought you were the top of the food chain." She recognized the voice. Human. Flashback. The birth of Carthan power long ago. The Carthan rose by feeding on fear. They hunted weaker species and kept trophies. Bones. Skulls. Ships. No one dared fight back. Until Earth. They called humans fragile. Weak. Newborns. Now the Carthan were running. The final mission. Raylan and June stood inside the command ship Silent Watch. Below them, the dead star where the Queen hid. June looked at the screen. "Last nest. We go in. No turning back." Raylan nodded. "No mercy." Infiltration begins. 3 stealth. Ships launched. They didn't use weapons. They used silence. The human plan wasn't to destroy from outside. They would go in and end it from the inside. The battle within. Carthan soldiers were ready. But they were tired, shaken. When human operatives entered the core, they moved like shadows. One by one, Carthan guards fell. No alarms, no screams. The Queen's mind cracked. She felt it. Something was wrong. Not just the invasion. Something. Inside her head, the echo mind had reached her. Whispers, images, her own thoughts, turning against her. She screamed. Clawing at her temple, the Queen's last defenders, a special unit, the Death Spine Guard, stood between the humans and the Queen. They charged forward, but the humans didn't fire. They stood still. Then one of the Death Spine soldiers dropped his weapon. Another fell to his knees. The rest backed away. They were afraid. They had heard the stories. The echo mind speaks inside every Carthan soldier's helmet. A human voice echoed, "Run if you want. But the hunt is over. We are not prey. We are the storm." The final confrontation. Ren walked into the Queen's chamber. She stood alone. Her body glowed with energy, but her eyes were wide with fear. "You destroyed our empire." She hissed. Raylan said nothing. He simply stepped forward. The Queen raised her. Claws. Then froze. She saw it in his eyes. No fear. Only cold resolve. The last strike. June entered behind. Raylan. She held a small device. No blast. No bomb. Just a pulse. A silent wave of light. The Queen's armor cracked. She fell to her knees, not dead, but defeated. The final words the Queen whispered. "What are you?" June answered, voice soft. "We were prey, now we are memory. You feared everything except us." The nest burns as humans left. The last core started collapsing. The dead star swallowed the nest. No escape. No signal. Just silence. Epilogue. A new era. Galactic leaders gathered. Alien species once ruled by fear now stood together. 1. Name was spoken with respect. And fear, human. But Raylan said, "We didn't do this to rule." June added, "We did it to survive." Ending scene. The fire gone cold, the galaxy watched the dead star fade. A new message echoed across space. To any who hunt the weak, beware the day they hunt back. Previously, the Carthan Queen has fallen. The last nest burned inside a dead star. But the humans didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. They did something much more terrifying. They left behind a message. Opening scene. Silence. After the war, the galaxy was quiet. No more screams. No more fear. The Carthan, once feared by all, were now gone. Leaders of hundreds of alien races watched the final images of their fall. Everyone expected a speech, a victory parade, but the humans sent only a recording, a message from Earth. The transmission played on every screen across the galaxy. No music, no symbols, just a black screen. Then the face of June Cade appeared. Calm, cold, human. She said, "You wanted our fear. You tasted it, and you used it to kill." She leaned closer to the screen. "But we learned, we grew, and when we stood, we didn't just fight back. We made sure you'd never rise again." Her final words echoed. "Let this be clear to all. If any species hunts the weak again, if you prey on those without defense, then we won't wait. We won't warn. We'll end you. Just like the Carthan." The warning written in fire. Then the screen changed. A view of the Carthan homeworld. It was quiet, dark. Then lines of red light began to appear on its surface. Not explosions. Writing. The message burned itself into the planet's crust using orbital fire beams. Every telescope in the galaxy saw the words asterisk asterisk hunted us, became the hunted. Now only memory. Asterisk asterisk. The galaxy reacts. Some species were scared, some were ashamed. Others finally felt safe. On worlds that had once suffered under Carthan rule, people cried, not in fear, but in relief. Because now they had a protector. Not gods, not machines. Humans. Common new alliances form. The United Galactic Pact met to discuss what to do. The decision was fast and clear. Earth would be invited as the first species with permanent defense authority, not rulers, but guardians. Raylan's quiet walk far from the galaxy's center. Raylan walked alone on a quiet beach on Earth. The war was over, but peace didn't feel peaceful. June joined him. "Do you think they'll listen?" she asked. Raylan looked at the stars. "They won't forget." The human record inside Earth's archive. A small plaque was placed near the old war table. It didn't list the number of Carthan killed. It didn't show the weapons used. It only said, "We gave warnings. We offered peace. But when pushed too far, we ended the threat forever." One final secret inside a hidden lab on Luna Station. Scientists shut down the Echo Mind. June watched as the system blinked its last signal. It was never meant to exist. She said, "But we needed it," Raylan replied. "And now? We pray we never need it again." Across the stars, a young alien child on a desert world pointed to the sky. "Is that Earth?" she asked. Her mother nodded. "Is it true? The humans destroyed monsters?" The mother smiled. "No, they didn't destroy monsters. They ended them." Final scene. A new warning appears deep in an unknown sector. A pirate fleet hunted a weak colony ship, their weapons locked on. Then their systems went dead. Every screen turned black. A single message glowed. Asterisk asterisk, we see you. We warned you. You are next. Asterisk asterisk. Earth. The pirates screamed. They turned back. No one dared challenge that voice again. Closing narration. Voiceover style. They were feared by all species. But humans didn't just fight them. They hunted them too. Nothing. And now the galaxy understands one thing. Don't mistake kindness for weakness.